Brookline Avenue was the kind of street where people took comfort in routine. The same cars parked outside the same houses. The same men played dominoes outside the corner store. The same children rode their bikes up and down the block until the streetlights flickered on. And at the center of everything stood Marley's Cuts, the unofficial headquarters of the neighborhood. The kind of place where people didn't just get haircuts, they got advice, gossip, a laugh, and sometimes a meal. Inside that little barbershop, life unfolded predictably, until the night when everything changed. The calm before the storm. It was early evening on a Wednesday. Rain had fallen earlier, leaving the streets glistening under the streetlights. Inside the shop, Marley was finishing up his last cut of the day. Mr. Lewis, a retired bus driver with a silver beard and a loud laugh that could shake the mirrors. Marley's 17-year-old nephew, DeAndre, swept up hair clippings, stacking them like tiny wooden shavings. Everything felt quiet, unusually quiet. Even the hum of the clippers felt softer than usual, like the whole shop was holding its breath. A stranger in the window. Marley noticed him first. A man standing across the street, still watching. A black hoodie pulled over his head, hands buried deep in the pockets. He didn't look like he was waiting for a bus or a friend. He looked like someone trying to decide something. Marley kept an eye on him as he lined up Mr. Lewis's beard. But the man didn't move. Not until the shop's lights flickered, something they did after it rained. Then he stepped forward. Enter the storm. The bell above the door jingled gently as the man walked in. No greeting, no smile, no nod. Just a slow walk to the waiting chair, head still lowered, breath shallow and uneven. Mr. Lewis glanced at Marley through the mirror. "This ain't good," he mouthed. DeAndre's broom slowed. Even the music playing low from Marley's phone seemed to fade. This was not a customer. This was someone carrying weight. Silence, heavy and loud. "Yo, my man," Marley said, trying to keep things normal. "You need a cut?" The man didn't answer. For a moment, Marley wondered if he even heard the question. The stranger sat rigid, shoulders tense, tapping one foot rapidly, like he was trying to hold himself together. It was the kind of silence that made the room feel colder. Mr. Lewis cleared his throat. "You okay there, brother?" Still nothing. Just the steady rise and fall of heavy breathing. The phone buzzed, then buzzed. The stranger's phone vibrated once. A single notification. He pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and something snapped behind his eyes. Fear? Anger? Adrenaline? Marley couldn't tell. The man stood up abruptly. "Hey, relax," Marley said. "You don't have to go yet." But the man wasn't going anywhere. Instead, he asked, "Where's the guy in the red jacket?" The target revealed. Marley froze. There was a guy earlier. Red puffer jacket. Neck tattoo. Came in jumpy. Kept checking the door. Tipped quickly. Then rushed out. But Marley had cut at least 10 people in the last few hours. "I see a lot of people," Marley said carefully. "I don't know." "You do know," the man snapped. "You lined him up. He was here. Where did he go?" DeAndre swallowed hard. Mr. Lewis murmured a prayer under his breath. Marley raised both hands slowly. "I don't keep track of where my customers go after I cut them. That ain't my job, bro." The stranger's jaw tightened. "You're lying." The gun comes out. The man reached into his hoodie pocket. And in that split second, everyone in the barbershop knew what was about to happen. "Yo, don't do that," Marley said, stepping back. But the gun was already out. A small black handgun, trembling violently in the man's hand. DeAndre dropped the broom. Mr. Lewis slid off the chair and onto the floor. Marley felt his pulse smack against the inside of his skull. "Listen," Marley said quietly. "No one here knows anything, but we can talk about this." The man's voice cracked. "He took something from me. He set me up. He ruined everything. I just need to find him." Tears welled in his eyes. He wasn't a hardened killer. He was a broken man with nothing left. But a broken man with a gun is the most dangerous kind. Desperation takes over. The stranger's breath quickened. His hands shook so badly the barrel of the gun swayed left and right. "You all think I'm crazy," "Don't you?" he said, pacing in small circles, waving the weapon without aim. Marley kept his voice calm. "No, I think you're scared. And when people get scared, they make mistakes they can't take back." The man looked at Marley, eyes wild. "I'm already past the point of no return." "No, you're not," Marley said. "Put the gun down. We'll figure this out. I'll help. Don't lie to me." The man spun toward Marley. Marley froze. DeAndre screamed. Mr. Lewis covered his head with his arms. And then, the shot. The gun went off. The explosion ripped through the shop. Every mirror shattered. Hair clippings flew into the air like dark confetti. The lights flickered and buzzed violently. For a moment, Marley didn't even know if he was alive. Everything went white. His ears rang loud enough to drown out every sound. Then he opened his eyes. The bullet had missed. It lodged deep into the wall, inches above where his head had been. The shooter stared at the hole he'd made, horrified at himself. He hadn't meant to shoot, or maybe he had, but just not like that. Somewhere outside, someone shouted, "Call the police!" Panic and escape. The gunman's panic turned into pure terror. Sirens wailed in the distance, fast, growing louder. He looked at Marley, then at DeAndre, then at the shattered mirrors. Then he did the only thing his fear allowed. He ran, out the door, down Brookline Avenue, disappearing into the maze of side streets before the squad cars even turned the corner. Police swarmed the shop seconds later, but the shooter was already gone. The aftermath. Nobody died that night, but the shop was never the same. People who once spent hours talking now came, cut their hair quickly, and left. Mothers kept their sons closer. The shop door stayed locked after dark. And Marley installed cameras, something he had never needed before. But the biggest change was the bullet hole. Marley refused to fix it. He kept it right where it was. A permanent reminder of how fast life can unravel. The mystery that still haunts the block. To this day, the man in the red jacket never returned, never called, never apologized for the danger he unknowingly brought. And the shooter? He vanished into the city. Some say he fled the state. Some say he was arrested weeks later for something unrelated. Some believe he's still out there, still searching for the man who destroyed his life. But for Marley, the truth doesn't matter anymore. What matters is what that night taught him, that even a place built on trust and community can be shaken by a single desperate man with nothing left to lose. And that one bullet, missed or not, can change everything.